everyone, it's Sharp Eye for Coins, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Wisdom. Now, as you guys know, I haven't been doing this as long as many of you, but I've made my fair share of mistakes and enough, I think, to put down some words of wisdom for the new collector and maybe for some old ones. So last time we talked about some pieces of advice, like not buying coins or precious metals on credit, right? Or not collecting without a strategy or a purpose in mind. Not to think that just because you paid something for a coin or some precious metal, that's what you're going to get back from it if you intend to resale. To keep a log of your collection so you know what you have, you know what you paid for it, you know from whom you received it, and it can also act as a log for your family members, just in case something happens to you. And lastly, we talked about how not to let your ego get the best of you, particularly if you're looking for errors or varieties. So there's probably room for about 100 more, but let's just do a couple today. I'd like to focus a little bit more about where and how to buy your precious metals or coins. And I'm not going to refer to specific bullion dealers or anything like that, but there are a number of trusted ones. When you do, you'll be paying, generally speaking, fair market value. So and that's fine, right? I'm all for that. If you want to get a coin, at least you know what you're getting. You'll be paying fair market value. Yeah, you're not going to get the deal of a lifetime, but sometimes they actually do have some pretty good deals. So I would go to various places and subscribe to their newsletters. Go to the mint websites that you like. I'm a member of the Perth Mint, the Royal Canadian Mint, of course the US Mint, the New Zealand Mint. Get their newsletters too, so you're aware of new products that might come out. If you get the hot item at the price that the mint is putting them out for, you stand a really good chance of being able to flip it down the line for more than you paid. But it all depends on the hot item, right? Now let's get into, like, if you really want to find a deal outside of those major trusted places, and let's talk about, generally speaking, how you should approach buying. Because my wisdom in this context is more general. And I'm thinking, number one, don't buy a coin unless you know what it is. I see it all the time. I see it all the time in auctions. People bid like crazy. They haven't even asked the seller yet what the mint is. You can kind of tell they don't know, really, aside from what the item is. Let's say it's a flying eagle cent, aside from that and the denomination, they don't really know it, what the mintage is. Is there anything about it that makes it special? I mean, I'm guessing for the most part that they're following the bidding trends that's going on, but how would one really know what to pay for unless you know what it is and some idea of its value? I think not knowing a coin is a great way to end up with like a negative coin equity. So know the coin that you're getting into. That's number one. And I mentioned the auction, right? And I love them. I love going online and internet auctions. I'm there a lot. But it's not always the best way to get a coin. In fact, you run the risk of overpaying more because you're bidding against other people. Then let's say you went to a online coin shop, or maybe your local coin shop. Too often I see auctioneers not presenting details about the coin. Often not having very good technology, like a scope to be able to present the coin. And sometimes I don't know if the sellers themselves know what it is that they have. I'm not mentioning any names, of course. I think it relatively rare. There's great auctioneers on YouTube, for example. But unless all the great qualities line up, I think an unwitting purchaser can end up spending a lot more on a coin than fair market value. Like I said, I picked up a couple of coins from an online auctioneer. For me, it was a new seller. And when I got them, I was kind of excited about the possibility, but I know, I was just being a little bit more realistic, and I kept my expectations down. And when I got them, I was sorely disappointed. The grades on the flips were all wrong. And there was damage to one of the coins that was never mentioned. So, they weren't presented on a scope, and that's on me, right? But I wanted to see it anyway. It was checking out a new seller, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't spend a whole lot of money, and I could afford that nominal risk, right? I know they're all silver, so if I figured, hey, even at weight, I only stand to lose maybe $10. And guess what? After doing the grading, I lost $10 because the asking bid was more than the value of these coins. Did I get ripped off? Yeah, by $10. So I'm not going to be going back to that person. So now I know, right? I had to spend $10 in order to find that out. Now, hey, if you're a bidder and you're overbidding on a coin just because you like that channel, you want to just support that channel, that's awesome. Do it. But that's completely different than what I'm talking about. Okay, now picking back off of number 2 there, about, basically make sure you know your seller. That's the word of wisdom. Know your seller, trust them, make sure they have, they're presenting the information about the coin, make sure they have the technology if you want to do the online auction thing. Number 3, try your local coin shop. I suggest, hey, go to your local coin shop. Don't be afraid to negotiate. A good local coin shop seller is going to be willing to negotiate. This is what I do. I have a list of items that I want for my various collections. I have a range of prices that I'm willing to pay for the grade that I'm looking for. I take this, I take my loop, I go in, I do a spot grade on the item, and if the price matches the grade, I'll see if I can get a deal. Usually they work with me, and I'm like happy, right? I saw the coins right in front of me. I'm not knocking, at all online auctions. When it's done right, it's fantastic. But when it's not, it sucks. So do your due diligence. Heck, bring your red book if you want. Understanding that it's a guide and price, but it's a great starting point. No shame in that at all. And you get to take your time, and you're not bidding against other people. There we are. Oh yeah, and I have up on the screen, it's always funny to go on to eBay and type in error coins and then sort by price, and you get I always get a kick out of this one right here with the misprint U.S. quarter 1776 to 1976, $1,650. So once again, know your seller, know your coin, and don't be afraid to go to your local coin shop. Alright, this is Sharp Eye for Coins saying thanks for watching. I hope this finds you well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.